use of the AZFRN and anyone who wants to describe family resource centers and their value to Arizona and the nation, and actually the whole world. There are FRCs all over the world. So this slide and in the messaging, we mentioned that there is a network of family resource centers, and that is a powerful thing to share because what a network means is that you are interconnected, and that interconnection is vital for sustainability of work, for learning, and for adaptability to the changing dynamic world, particularly the changes that families are going through as their children grow up and as the world changes. So sharing that there is a network that you are part of is a powerful thing to share. Right now, we have 68, I believe is the count that is known of FRCs in Arizona, including 47 that are funded by First Things First. I think it's 48 right now. And last year, those 48, or really those 47 FRCs, served 21,000 families. So there is an impact. You have a huge reach in Arizona. It also talks here about how the Arizona Family Resource Network, we are connected to the National Family Resource Network, which is the network of networks that provides technical assistance and support and advocacy at a federal level. And all family resource centers are trained in the standards of quality for family strengthening and support. So I have actually already gotten the question from legislators or leaders, well, who works at FRCs? What are the qualifications of people? And a simple statement that I use is all the staff are trained in the standards of quality for family strengthening and support developed by the National Family Support Network. So that really elevates the credibility and the value of the professionals that work at family resource centers. They're great things to share. And then lastly, I believe FRCs are part of a national movement. So instead of focusing on really the value of just one FRC in a community, it's really focusing on not only the network and the value of the network in Arizona, but this is part of a statewide system approach to family well-being. It's also a national approach to family well-being. So there is a national movement. You are part of something big that is growing traction and being elevated in its importance. So the key takeaways are that family resource centers, they reduce a sense of overwhelm for families. They create connection and they strengthen families. They're part of a growing national movement, and investing in Arizona's families is critical to Arizona's future. So those are just the key things. You can use these messages, borrow them, copy paste them. You can put them in your grant applications, on your websites. You can use them. This is really for you to have shared language. Any questions or comments about messaging?
Claire, I do have a quick question for you. You said that you're going to send these to us. They're going to be in Word because last time you sent these before from our other meeting and they were in a PDF, so we weren't able to use them. Are you going to have them so we can put them in presentations?
Yes, definitely, Don. And thank you. And if ever you want something not in PDF form, please just ask me because I usually create PDFs from documents just so that they're easier to send and easier to, there's like the integrity of the design stays. But yes, Don, I will send it to you, to everyone in a Word document. There's also some examples of stories that I share in there that are 2 or 3 sentences long, little vignettes that I actually learned from Jennifer Argyros and Melissa Boyle at the FRAC meeting. But we came up with 5 little stories as little examples of tidbits to share, because sometimes you don't have that much time to share about what you do, but a little story makes an impact. Patty.
This may be nitpicking, but the word overwhelm as it's used there is very clumsy.
Yeah.
And, I think that there's probably a better word. It's being used as a noun, and I don't think it's a noun. And so I just think that there's probably a better word.
Okay, we use overwhelm as a noun in some of our other trainings, but it may not be something that's used in a commonplace way. Sometimes people use the word overload, but it's more that it's something that you would articulate. So it can be the overwhelm on families, or the overload on families, or the burden of stress on families, anything like that. But you are free to adapt this messaging to how you would use it, like, because we don't want it to sound clunky as you share it. We want it to be in your own words. This is a guidepost for how you can do it.
And it could also sound really like it just pertains to our field, which we wanted to resonate with the rest of society as well.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. It's my opinion.
Thanks, Patty. Other questions or comments? All right, well, thank you to the FREC for having this idea of having shared messaging and for finalizing it. So we'll send that out after today's meeting. Thanks.
Awesome. Thank you, Claire. Okay, so we have a few updates to share with you all related to upcoming professional development. So on May 2nd, we are going to host a reflective supervision training facilitated by Rose Phillips, and that's in Phoenix at the Washington Activity Center. We do still have space available, so if you are a supervisor and you would like to learn more about the practice of reflective supervision, please join us. I'm going to share the registration link here in the chat. I invite you to come and be there. Rose is lovely. If you don't know her, you will love her. I know it. And then today is the virtual PD with Patty Merck. She's going to be providing an overview of the Ages and Stages questionnaire for us, and that's happening today at 1:10. So please do join us for that. And then for those people who I have already been in communication with about Zoombini, we do have a virtual training set for April 11th at 9 a.m. I am awaiting some details from the trainer, but I do currently have some login information to share with you. So heads up, I will be emailing you all individually with the login information that you need. So that's what's coming down the pipe. Very excited about all that. And we also have quality standards certification training coming up. So there are 4 that we've scheduled for this fiscal year. April 29th and 30th is our 4th and final for this fiscal year. If you are somebody who hasn't yet gotten your quality standard certification, or if you've done it more than 2 years ago, we invite you to join us on April 29th and 30th. Registration is open. I'm going to share the link with you here so that you can sign up to join us. We also have community practice sessions upcoming. That's a space where quality standards trainers can help people who can help all of you think through how you implement the standards in the real world, what that looks like, how they can improve your program. The next session is happening on April 9th at 11 a.m. So please do join us. And then our final for the fiscal year is June 11th. All right. That's it for PD. And at this point, I'm going to hand things off to Molly Kemp.
Hello. Just a quick update at our last connections meeting. Again, just to refocus, the purpose of this time is very casual. It's to come together and strengthen families. It's a virtual 1-hour time slot that we meet quarterly, where we discuss hot topics relevant to center successes and also some of the challenges that we're experiencing. It's a time for us to come together and be able to talk through tools that we've used. And this last meeting that we had, we discussed exploring the impact of immigration. We know that that's been something very hot topic going on in our communities for many of us. So had the chance to talk about some of the opportunities people were using with partnerships to educate people. Also, Michelle sent out a fabulous email that had tons of documentation that just helped us be better equipped with what were some of the challenges and how could we better support the communities that we're serving. Melissa Boyle did a wonderful job facilitating that, so we were grateful to that. We do not currently have a topic for our next meeting, which will be coming up May 14th from 1 to 2. Again, it will be virtual. So if anybody does have a topic they would like to bring to the table, you are more than welcome to get that on the agenda. Thank you for joining us during this time. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, Molly. And Claire's going to share a little bit about the FRC Summit.
Hooray! Okay, so we've had 2 meetings of the FRC Summit Planning Committee, and we have made enormous headway, and it's a lot of fun. So we don't yet have a date for the summit solidified, but I'm fairly confident it's going to be on Thursday, August 21st. It's Thursday, August 21st, in Tempe. We're looking at the DoubleTree Hilton in Tempe, Phoenix. And the committee chose that location in part because it is accessible based on like the highways and things like that. So like last year, we'll be able to sponsor hotel scholarships for people who are living or working more than 50 miles away who want to stay the night before. And we're planning a great agenda, which will include, it actually will mirror a lot of last year's setup because the committee liked the way that it was, that it flowed. So there will be a keynote speaker. We are going to have what's called an activity fair. So you will get communication about this, but we're going to ask between 15 and 20 FRCs to showcase an activity or a relationship or basically an idea that you want to share with people. So it could, and FRCs will only have 3 minutes to present this. It's kind of a lightning little presentation about an idea that you have or something that you do well. So it could be a parent-child activity that you do well. It could be showcasing a partner that you have formed a relationship with and the good work that you're doing there. It could be kind of an idea for a social event, like whatever you want to share. We're doing this year because last year on the feedback survey, a lot of people asked for, hey, I want to learn what other FRCs do and get their ideas. So we're going to ask you to submit ideas to be part of that activity fair. So more on that, but there will be, again, a survey for people to propose their ideas to be picked to present things on that activity fair. Okay. It's only 3-minute presentation. I know people don't like public speaking. Some people love it, but we're all friends. We're all friends here. And we want to learn from each other and we have valuable stuff to share. So we'll send out the save the date and the registration as soon as we have everything finalized. And there's also going to be some workshops there too, and to chat with each other. So hold the date right now of Thursday, August 21st. It's probably going to be that. And also I'm happy to share that we have raised some sponsor dollars for that event too. So we have $5,000 from Blue Cross Blue Shield Health Choice and $5,000 from the NARBA Institute. And so that will support this event to be free and will free up some funding that we have next year so that we can do more professional development through the AZFRN funds that we get from First Things First. So that will be exciting. And one more thing before I pass it off to the next person. We did release a survey, another survey last week that went out to FRC leads. That is the expansion survey that FRC leads know about. It's really a survey asking FRC leads to estimate the resources that it would take to expand their FRC or FRCs to serve all ages of children. That is due on April 18th. Is it due on April 18th? It's due on April 11th. Actually, hold on. Let me just check. Let me check. Oh my gosh. Don't have it. I don't have it in my calendar. It's due April 18th. It's due April 18th. And I just want to recognize that it is a lift to be able to just plan for what it might take. And so thank you so much for doing this. We're going to compile this into a research report which will inform our strategy for what does it take, what do we need to do this big system that we're working on creating together so that families can get what they need when they need it. So thank you. Subtle reminder. I'll send you another reminder. Please do that. We want all of your voices included in that. Any questions on FRC Summit or the expansion survey or comments? And they were just like pouring information into your brains. Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, and now I'm going to hand things back to Jennifer, and she's going to share out about this text message resource.
Thanks. In the spirit of elevating quality and sharing things that we do well with each other. I'm excited to share this project that I did with two of my colleagues at the university. And really quickly, I realized, I jumped right into the FRAC, but if there's people on here that don't know me, I'm Jennifer Argros. I'm chair of the Family Resource Center Network, and I'm also the program lead in Santa Cruz County. We have 3 family resource centers: Nogales, Rio Rico, and Patagonia, sorry. And so we're going to be presenting a project that was really fun and very successful and has been integrated into our family resource centers very seamlessly. It's one of the few projects that I can say, like, we have overwhelming feedback that it's been from both staff and parents, that it's been easy to use and really beneficial. So with that, I'm going to let my colleagues introduce themselves and take it away.
Thank you, Jennifer. Hi, everybody. I know some of you in there. My name is Debbie Curley, and I've worked with Jennifer since 2010 when we started together the Family Resource Center program in Santa Cruz County. So I've had a lot of experience with FRCs. I love FRCs. I am currently the Extension Agent for Family, Consumer, and Health Sciences with U of A Cooperative Extension Pima County. So I'm based in Tucson now. We teach classes in a variety of modalities, but I am also happy to be a part of the United Way Family Resource Center there are 3 of them that are in Sahuarita, Sunnyside, and Altar Valley. So I'm still a part of Family Resource Centers, and I'm happy to be part of this project.
Hi, I'm Kate Spears. So I'm faculty in Human Development and Family Science at the University of Arizona, and then I also work with UA Cooperative Extension. And I've been working with Jennifer and Debbie on FRC related things, I think, since I came to Arizona in 2016 or 2017. So I have also learned and embraced FRCs. So today we're going to be telling you about this text message database that we put together. This is basically a collection of text messages that can be sent to supplement programming. It was developed specifically to supplement the programs that Jennifer and her staff are running at the FRCs in Santa Cruz County, but we tried to develop it and present it in a way that even if you're not teaching exactly those classes, you can still use it along with your programming. So I'm going to start by just a little bit of background about why you might want to use text messages, some of the reasons that we wanted to use them. The first is they're ubiquitous. They're everywhere. Most people have a cell phone and use texting. So it's a good way to reach people. It's a way that you can reach most people. They're also relatively easy to send. You can generally set them up to be sent on a specific day at a specific time. So this is not someone sitting at a cell phone typing in a message to each individual participant. It's also there's a range in terms of what you can pay for this, but it can be done very inexpensively. So as Jennifer and Debbie will tell you, they're using WhatsApp, which is completely free to send them. There are paid text messaging programs that you can pay for. I believe most of them are like a monthly or yearly subscription. And really what you get with that is just they'll give you more data about how your participants interact with the messages. So if there's a link in the message, they can tell you if people clicked on the link or not. But you can also do this completely for free. And then there is a little bit of research behind the effectiveness of text messages. So people have been sending text messages as part of largely health programming for 10, 15 years now. So there's a pretty good body of literature specifically related to programming for parents or families with young children. They've been shown to increase program attendance and completion and participation. And because we see that usually people are more engaged with the program, participate more, attend more of the sessions when they're given text message reminders or text messages that reinforce program content, they participate more. And so sending text messages can also help participants meet program goals. All right, and now I'll turn it over to Debbie to tell you more about the experience at the FRC and this database.
Thank you. Okay, we can go to the next slide and I'll just thank you. Perfect. I'll just tell a little bit about why we think that text messages are particularly important for family resource centers. As I've learned teaching through different locations, teaching classes in places where sometimes maybe we show up and teach a class and only get to know the people for 3 sessions. Family resource centers are, of course, a place where you have access to families so frequently. You can really build deep relationships with them. So it's such a ripe place to be able to use this type of program and idea and innovation. Quite frankly, I don't think that a lot of people outside of FRCs, or at least in the work that I do, would even want to receive text messages from us. So it is really a great place to try this out. What a few of the things that we think are important about having them at the FRCs is that it offers some quality control. So in the sense that these text messages that we've created in this database have been vetted. They include evidence-informed information. They've also been peer-reviewed. And we've had our colleagues to test these out with the clients who are at the family resource centers. And so that's something that you can kind of trust that these make sense. Also, the Spanish translations have been tested as well. So it's a quality control in that sense that we, sorry. So it's a quality control in that sense that these have been tested with families and that they have all been written out very intentionally. So you can just go in and get them, and I'll show them to you in a minute. It also keeps the conversation going. So when you kind of think about offering your messages that you have in your centers in different modalities, you may have messages that you get across in a classroom, and then you may also have messages that you're able to deliver. When you're able to deliver these via phone, they're reaching people from another side. So it allows you to expand what's happening in the classroom into their homes, really. So, and as you know, you also are putting things up on the walls and things like that, trying to get your messages out in different ways. And this is one more of those ways. Also, different learning styles. People have different learning styles. As Jennifer was saying, you might be able to tell people something, 15 times with your voice in a classroom up in front of the room. But then when it shows up in their phone, maybe they see it in a different way. And they're challenged in a different way when they're alone in their homes to try something. So that does maybe appeal to the different learning styles that people have. So we can go to the next one. And what I'll do is I'll just give you a quick tour of the text message database. You will have an opportunity to access this. We'll give you the resource to do that in the next slide. But I'm going to share my screen, and I'm just going to take you to show you the database. And so here it is. It has 3 tabs in it. It's an Excel document. So I'll show you on the our website, but you can fill out a short form and it will just automatically download this for you. So you can save this as an Excel sheet on your computer if you want. The way it's set up is that we have these 3 tabs. They're all protected. Learned how to do that. But first is the instructions, and it will tell you what is in here and how you use it. So there are 134 text messages from 8 different classes, both in English and in Spanish. With each class, we did it for classes. So some of our classes are 8 sessions long. You may not have an 8-session long class, but I'll show you what it looks like. You can use it and adapt it how you would like. But if you have an 8-session class, maybe it starts out with a welcome message that says, hey, we're going to be sending you messages from now on for the duration of this class. Reinforcement messages are the ones that are sent after each class. So after they've learned something, then they are encouraged to practice it at home. That's really the main point of this, is to be able to have them see things in a new way at home. And then a wrap-up message at the end, which is just to summarize the key takeaways and provide a sense of closure for that experience, really. You can not use the welcome and wrap-up messages. Frankly, you can change these in any way that you want. We've just kind of put some work into this and want to offer this up. Some of the things that you might find in here might not match exactly with what you want, but maybe it'll get you to a point where you haven't been before. So the second the third tab really there is the class descriptions tab, which will tell you what all of our different classes are that we made these for. Some of you, I'd be curious to know how many people teach Abriendo Puertas. Feel free to pop it in the chat if you do, or any of these if you do. That is very interesting to us to know, is this meeting your needs? Does this immediately apply to you? Could you use this tomorrow? But these are the classes that we built it for. Some parent skill building classes, including Abriendo Puertas, positive discipline, and the power of parenting that Patty Merck knows very well, that she helped to create from U of A Cooperative Extension. And that's called also called Brain Waves, and it comes from a larger curriculum called Brain Builders. And so that has been renamed Power of Parenting at the Santa Cruz Family Resource Centers. So this is a lot, obviously, about brain development. Then there are early childhood development classes. These are more specifically focused on building the skills in the children where the parents support them. We have the PIPE classes that we've developed, a play and learn class that was developed at the Family Resource Center, in addition to Fine Arts for Threes, Keys for Threes, which is focused on 7 essential life skills, and kindergarten readiness. So a lot of you are probably, I would think that kindergarten readiness might be the most ubiquitous of all the classes that you teach, but please feel free to share in the chat because we'd love to know what you're doing that might be relevant. And as far as how you use it, we have some suggested, I don't think I have to read all of these, but we have some suggested steps that you would take if you want to implement this in your center based on Jennifer's experience and Bernadette as well, who's on there, how they did it and how they started this program at their center and what kind of was a good sequence of events to make that happen. And then, not to make you wait any longer, here they are. We have on the left-hand side is the curriculum name. And so we have them in order of the actual title of the class. So here are all the Abriendo Puertas. Here are the fine arts classes. Here are the Keys for Threes classes. So you kind of get the idea. It's all pretty alphabetical. And then if we wanted to go, kind of partial to Keys for Threes myself. So if we wanted to go to Keys for Threes, for example, you can look across the line, across the row, and you'll see this starts, as we mentioned, with a welcome text. That would be number 1. And then here's the language that we have for that. Welcome to the class. This is what you'll be doing. Then here's that in Spanish. And then finally, just a little category. We categorize them so you know what you're kind of getting across in that message in case you want to go look for something. If you really want to focus on executive function, for example, you can sort by that as well. And this is protected, like I said, but you can go in here, just highlight it and right click and copy, and you can just paste it right into your text message machine, however you're doing that. And then I'll just do a quick tour through here. I don't know if I'm going too fast, but here are all the classes, and we just described them here so you know what the class is made of, what its intention is. And you may very well be like, oh, well, I don't teach Abriendo Puertas, but now I'd like to. So this could be a source of classes for you to add to your curricula list. So there are all the descriptions of this and who the audience is and everything for that. So, and I think I will stop share. And then if the person who was sharing the PowerPoint, yes, could share again, thank you. With this, you can go and get this. This is the web page for where we have the database where you can access it. So I'll put that link also in the chat. And this is where you would go. It's got a lot of the information that I was just reading in terms of the instructions and why we did this, things that Kate just said. And there's a little button in there that says get access. And so if you press the button that says get access, it'll ask you just a few questions so we can know who you are and how you plan to use it. And then once you press submit, I mean, it's pretty seamless. It comes right up and it'll go into your downloads. So that is how you use it. Are there any questions?
Yeah, maybe my question is already answered. So anybody can use any of the resource centers, just giving you the information, and that's it.
And
Okay.
frankly, you don't have to be a family resource center, but it does really work quite well with family resource centers.
Okay, thank you.
And we have been using them for years, and it's part of every family that comes. When they enroll in a class, we tell them that they will be entered into a group text message. You can opt out, but we have very, very few families that opt out. And so every time we have a new class, we create the group. The clerks at the family resource centers have the messages and the schedule to send them out. So it's, kind of before the class starts, they tell they send the text, they get ready, here, your class is starting, they have the class. And then maybe the day after or 2 days after, they get the other text that says, do you remember you came to this class? You learned XYZ. Why don't you do XYZ with your child? And then again, they'll get remember the class is tomorrow. And then it goes like that. So it's really, the instructions are all in the database. It's a very simple schedule that you can use. And like Debbie said, it really helped with quality control because we know exactly the message. They've been vetted. There's not going to be typos in them. You don't have to worry about translation. They've already been translated. So it's a very seamless program. But thank you so much for being here with me, Debbie and Kate. I love you guys. And it has been a great, great project. And if anybody has any questions about it, I would encourage you all just to click get access and look at it for yourselves. And our information, if you want to email us or contact us, it's all in the PowerPoint.
Awesome.
Back to you, Michelle.
Thank you all. What an incredible resource. Yeah, and I can include the link in the follow-up email as well, along with the messaging that Claire shared earlier. Okay, friends, Kendra had to hop off to attend another meeting, so I'm going to share the updates that she had for you all, and I'll also include them in the follow-up email because it's going to be rapid fire. So the first thing she wanted to share is that HB 2778 says the vaping tax bill is not going to advance this session, but she mentions that it did help elevate the conversation around the urgent needs of Arizona's young children and families. So hope is not lost. We'll see what happens in the future there. The next point was about Listen for Good. She mentioned that Listen for Good will be at the May Coffee with First Things First meeting, and you can see the date and time here. It's May 13th from 12 to 1:30. And Listen for Good is requesting that all staff who are part of the Listen for Good project be in attendance if possible. So please do pass along that calendar invite to any of your staff members who participated in the project. I did send it to FTF program leads. So be sure if you are that person that you have distributed it to the staff that need to be there. FTF program and evaluation teams are in the middle of the FRC Roadshow, and we are enjoying the time to get to meet with each FRC and hear about all the amazing things that you're doing in your community. So a huge thank you to everyone who is making the time